I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. Hey, you guys. Welcome back to my channel, Glasses and Grays with VJ. And for those that are new, I'm VJ. For those that are returning, welcome back. I'm glad to see you all. And I want to say again, Merry Christmas. If you haven't already, this is not your first time, even if it is your first time, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Even hit the bell if you want to get notified whenever I drop new content. And be sure to go back and look at the other content that I put out there. It's good and it's getting better and better. Don't sleep on your girl. Now, for those that are new and don't really know what I talk about, you will find content here revolving around a single black woman here in Arkansas, the South, and I'll just be discussing things pertaining to lifestyle. Hence, my glasses, which represent perspective and vision, and grays, which represents wisdom and experience. So I want to take you all along with me on my journey, and I also want to share things that I've learned over the years and give some insight on things that may be beneficial to you. We're going to be talking about relationships, personal development, spirituality and religion, finances, like I said, all things lifestyle. And even like perfume and stuff. Like I just did a perfume review. In previous videos, I mentioned how I would like to talk about movies and commentary. And I want to do that with you all today. And the movie that I want to talk about is called Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey. And if you have not seen it, you are missing a treat. It is a wonderful holiday movie. It has black cast, black director, black excellence. It's the merging of the arts and music and STEM and science. It's a wonderful movie to watch, and you can go ahead and get into it. So the movie basically, and I'm going to try not to give any spoilers. I'm going to try not to. But even if I do, still go look at the movie. It's still a lot more that I'm not going to talk about, okay? But the movie, it's about an imaginary world. An imaginary world comes to life in a holiday tale of an eccentric toy maker played by Forrest Whitaker and his adventurous granddaughter, and a magical invention that has the power to change their lives forever. Okay, that's the basis. He's a toy maker. He's a genius. Very smart, intelligent, gifted. And unfortunately, that gets taken away from him. Or he felt like it gets taken away from him. And I'm not a person to look at movies just to look at movies for entertainment. My mind is always constantly going. It's picking up themes here and there. And of course, just like any writing or story, there are going to be themes or whatever. I even pick up on things that other people don't even see. That's just how my mind works. And I done said that I don't know how many times on this channel already. That's how my mind works. There were several themes throughout this movie. And I was like, okay, what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about this. I want to talk about that. What do I want to talk about? And it came to me last night. I wanted to talk about faith and belief, and how loss and grief can affect that. Because in the movie, what happened was, like I mentioned already, Jeronicus, the toy maker, the genius toy maker, he has this invention that was going to be a major break for him. It was going to set his family up. He had a wife and his daughter, just one daughter. He didn't have any other children. And it was going to set his family up for life. It was like the jackpot, right? And he had this apprentice. And what happened in the movie was the apprentice ended up running off with the invention. And not only did he run off with the invention, he took his notebook full of his other inventions that he was working on. So not only did he take his toy that was already a hit that was going to set him up, he took his potential as well, or he thought. And that was one thing. That was one blow. And then his wife dies. And that's another. I want to pause right there for a second. Have you ever had a season in your life where you were just hit nonstop? It's like you can't catch a break. If it ain't one thing, it's another. In 2020, for a lot of us, that has been the case. But I can say that I have felt like that before, and it was in 2018 to be exact. It was a lot of things happened in my life back to back, and I didn't even realize how short of a span those particular events happened to me. And these events included a called off engagement. There was a major disappointment that happened with my nonprofit organization. There were some other things that happened. I was going through job changes, and I was having a hard time adjusting, and I didn't know what was going on. I knew I was depressed. I knew I wasn't feeling like myself. I knew that my soul was tired. And it wasn't until I went to go to talk to a therapist that I realized what was going on, to the extent in which it was. And she, after I told her what was going on, she said, "Do you realize a lot has happened to you in a short span of time?" And she basically told me I had what they call adjustment disorder. I hadn't fully recovered from the blows that I had encountered. So, for lack of better words, I was having a hard time catching my breath in life. And that was the reason why. And I needed to take time out to address those individual things that happened to me. And the thing that could happen with mismanaged grief and loss, of course, you have depression, suicide. I mean, that's why it is very important that we pay attention to ourselves and our mental health and the mental health of others around us as well. Because mismanaged loss and grief can be detrimental. We want to make sure we're paying attention and being diligent in how we're dealing with that and reaching out and asking for help. And that's my experience. And I knew exactly how he felt. To be getting up every day and just going through the motions. It's like you're a zombie. You're not living. There's no passion. There's no excitement. You're just doing because that's the routine. And I know exactly how that feels. So he lost his inventions and his hit invention, and he lost his wife. And mismanaged grief and loss can cause you to lose more than what you thought you would lose. And in this case, Jeronicus, he ran his daughter off. And they went years without seeing each other. Years. Because he didn't feel like he was adequate enough to be the father that he would have liked to be to her, because his confidence was shot. Loss and grief can make you take a blow to your confidence as well. It did me. Fast forward to the movie, his daughter has a daughter, and she decides she wants to send her daughter to go stay with him for a few days before Christmas. And what happened was the granddaughter ended up finessing the situation. She wrote letters basically right on the behalf of the other. So she was the missing link. She was responsible for them reconciling and coming back together. But the daughter ended up sending the granddaughter to go stay with her grandpa, Jeronicus. And the granddaughter is a chip off the old block. Like, she's intelligent, a genius as well. Like her mother and grandfather. It's hereditary. And those are good generational things to pass down. Some of these bad habits, aka curses, that we passing down to our kids, need to nip that in the bud. Anyway, she goes to stay with him, and during the stay, she comes across one of his inventions that he has been working on for God knows how long, and she was able to get it to work. And the missing part to the equation wasn't a mechanical piece. It wasn't in how something was done. The missing piece or the component to this particular invention working was belief. All it needed was for somebody to believe that it could work. Andronicus, he had no confidence. He just going through the motions. And he's relying on the mechanical part of it. But the passion that he has, the belief and faith in what he's actually put together, he does not have. He doesn't have that anymore. And the thing about children have faith that us adults don't. Because we have experiences. We have hurts, pains, disappointments. We have all those things over time. And we have to fight for our faith. But children, they are some of the most imaginative, ambitious human beings ever. Like, I am in awe of my nephew. He just turned 7. He is so ambitious and so confident. And I know how precious confidence is. So I try to build it and teach him how to bounce back from things. Like, for instance, he has a bike. My mom bought him a bike, and he was doing pretty good, getting comfortable with riding. He still has his training wheels on, but he ended up falling off the bike. And because he fell off, he don't want to ride it anymore. He was like, I don't ride a bike no more. I don't want it anymore. I feel, So he now has to get over that fear of falling because he's fallen now. But that's how we are as adults. We have to get over our fear of failing and our fear of falling and our fear of loss after we've lost and failed once before. It's a fight for our faith. It's a fight for us to believe in ourselves and a fight for us to believe in God. And I wanted to make a note of Matthew chapter 18, verse 4. And it says, therefore, whoever humbles himself as this little child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Childlike faith will get you places and get you things that your intellect and experience will not. Some things networking is not going to get you. It's going to cost you your faith, your ability to just believe, hands down. In Matthew, if you don't humble yourself to be that likened of a child, you cannot inherit the kingdom. And the kingdom is so much, it's more than just going to heaven. It's so much more than that. It's abundant life. It's a life of miraculous encounters. It's an amazing life. And we don't have access to that unless we have childlike faith. We have to humble ourselves and fight for our faith. And one of the things that stuck out to me in the movie was it said the magic isn't just in what you've lost. It's in what you still have. When I heard that, I was like, wow. And that's basically saying it's not discounting the thing that was lost. It's not saying that it wasn't important. It's not saying that it wasn't special. It's not saying any of that. But it's saying the same thing that produced that thing that was lost has the ability to produce something so much greater. The God that allowed those things, those circumstances, those people to be created is the same God that can do it again or cause us to experience something even greater. That's the magic. And that was so profound to me. With Andronicus and his granddaughter, she figured out that belief was how the invention worked, and she tried to convince her grandfather he wasn't trying to hear it. Long story short, the granddaughter ended up coaching her grandfather into believing again and getting the invention to work, because they needed that to save the day. They needed his belief. They needed him to believe in order to save the day, because it was some other things that happened that were life or death situations, and his faith was the thing that needed to kick in order for them to make it out of the situation that they were in. Belief is such a powerful force. And that's why fear is so powerful, because it's faith in reverse. It's perverted faith. That's exactly what fear is. It's that important. Our belief and our faith is that important. So think about if you was to actually channel that energy and that life force into the one that created this whole equation for it to work in. How much more could we experience in life if we were to tap into that on a regular basis? I'll tell y'all how God works. So I was trying to get myself together last night to figure out what themes and stuff I was going to talk about in regards to the movie, and I just so happened to look at my Instagram memories, and it was a song on the memories, and it was Dare to Believe by Commission. And I was just like, oh my goodness, like I get so excited. The Lord has been really like connecting dots and confirming his word with me like crazy here lately. So, and it gets me so excited. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna talk about. But anywho, I listened to the song, and I'm gonna read the lyrics to the song to you all. And the song embodies this whole thing, that this whole storyline for Jeronicus, right? It says, suddenly you realize all that you live for is gone. Desperately searching for just one reason to carry on. Conditions are right for the greatest of miracles now. It's been known to happen when your worlds come tumbling down. Dare to believe, and you will see. There is hope where you are. Realize, in my eyes, nothing's too hard. And then it goes on to say, one tragic moment, and it all slipped right through your hands. Shattered your dreams, so it would seem. You lost your only chance. There you are, falling apart. You're so sure your life is through. But there is so much more than you ever dreamed. It's waiting to happen for you. And it goes back and says, dare to believe, and you will see there was hope. There is hope where you are. If only you realize, in my eyes, nothing's too hard. And then it says, no need to sit crying the blues. Consider this, there's nothing to lose. Open your eyes, have faith, and see. All things are possible to them that believe. Conditions are right for the greatest of miracles now. It's been known to happen when your world's tumbling down. Dare to believe, and you will see. There is hope where you are. And you guys, I just kept listening to that song, and it just took me back to that place where I felt exactly the way Jeronicus felt. Like, what am I doing here? I've lost everything that made my life make sense, seemingly, and I don't know what I'm doing. And I just continued to listen, and I just started to cry. Because I know exactly how it feels to lose and to grieve and not know what you're doing in life. And I thought it was just ironic that this song popped up in my memories while I'm preparing to share this movie commentary with you all. So I just want to offer hope to anyone out there that is feeling hopeless. I want to encourage you to keep going, to let you know that it gets better. But it also is going to entail you doing the work that you need to do to get out of the place that you're in. I don't know why you may be where you are. I don't know your circumstances. But I know God is able. I know he's able to pull you out. I know he's a deliverer. I know he's a redeemer. He can give you your confidence back. He can give you your sense of purpose back. And he can make it new. The amount of breakthrough that I have experienced the past few months has been phenomenal. But it started with me humbling myself and being obedient to what I know the Lord has told me to do, and doing the work and going against my comfort and believing. You have nothing to lose. If you believe and it don't work, okay. You haven't lost anything. What do you have to lose by believing? And I'm going to end with this. Dare to believe. That's what I encourage you all to do in this season as we get ready to end 2020 and go into 2021. Our faith is going to be so very important to us. It's vital. Your faith is your confidence. And not confidence just in yourself, but confidence in God. So dare to believe, you guys. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and hit the like button. Feel free to comment below. I'm going to also tag the song that I'm referencing to in the description box, and along with some other songs that help you and your mindset to get you to believing again, to spark your faith. Okay? And all right, until next time, you guys, have a wonderful Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'll talk to you all later.